Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the new Patrick Ta foundation. It is called the Major Skin Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo, and I have the shade Fair 2, and I'm also going to be talking about the new Merit Bronzer, and this is in the shade Clay. So if you want to see how these work for me, then just keep watching. Alright, so this is the first time I've ever used this. I tried it on earlier and then I washed it off because I wanted to actually do a video. So I did get the shade Fair 2 and there are already fingerprints on it, but you know, that's what happens. I'm thinking I maybe should have got Fair 3. I was scared because people were saying, oh, it's darker than you think. And this is pretty much what it looks like. And then this is the powder. The powder is a little scary. So just a quick description of what it is. Sorry, I have my iPad here in front of me. It is a duo that includes a blendable medium coverage cream foundation paired with a satin finish powder. So it is meant to be best for oily, combo, normal skin. So if you're dry, I have seen people who are drier skin type and they really like it. So I kind of think it's for everyone. It says it's a natural finish, good for pores. There's a medium coverage, and I know it said something about it being an air spun powder, and it is good for eliminating the look of pores. So I didn't buy the brush that went with it because it was just crazy expensive. So I'm just going to use my e.l.f. buffing foundation brush, and we'll just go into the cream first. So I'm all primed up already. So this is what the shade is looking like. Actually, I do think it's an okay shade now that I'm seeing it in the sunlight. I just have my blinds open, and I actually think that it kind of blends perfectly. I saw some people who I think look like the same shade as me, and then they'll be like, oh, I got light 3, and I'm like, wait, what? So I'm thinking because it's a cream, there might be a little bit of there might be a little bit of stretch to it, but it comes with a really nice big mirror, and I might actually use that mirror right now because I feel like I'm too far away from my mirror. So here's what the coverage is looking like so far. I would say you could get a pretty good coverage out of it. Like, that is medium, and you can see I have a lot of redness. I have a blemish right here that I picked at, and I do have quite large pores, so we'll see how that covers my pores. And what I like to do, because I notice sometimes foundation just kind of sits on top of my skin and it just sits on top of the pores, what I like to do is, oh, something weird is happening here. You see that? That didn't happen earlier. I wonder if it's because I put the Hourglass primer on and I didn't do that earlier. What is going on? Okay, so I'm going to take my sponge and kind of just press it in. That's so weird because I put it on this cheek and I didn't notice it doing that. What the heck? Okay, that's weird. Of course this would happen, but I'm kind of glad it's happening while I'm filming because then you get an actual feel for what the formula is like. It's still there a tiny bit. Just trying to blend it out here. Seems like I was able to blend it. I'm just gonna finish the, yeah, seems like it's okay. I'm gonna finish the rest of my face because this might be like a little bit of a process. And like I said, I'm gonna go in with my sponge and just kind of, it's not wet, it's just a dry sponge. I'm just gonna go in and kind of like pat it into the skin and do my concealer, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm concealed. I've done all of my foundation. This is what it's looking like on the skin, on larger pores. Oh my god, I got a little mustache right now. Don't pay attention to that. I need to shave my face. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the powder now. And I'm just gonna use this Makeup by Mario F2 brush. And I powdered my under eye just because I tried this earlier, and it's just, I have my favorite powders for the under eye, and I think he said something not to put it on the under eye. I don't know, but it's a brightening powder, so I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm just gonna go in and we'll see what that looks like. I don't know that it's like necessarily blurring the pores. It's strange because you hear some people say, oh my god, it's so blurring, and other people are like, didn't do anything. So I don't know. I think it obviously depends on your skin type. Maybe you just don't have pores to blur to begin with. But I do, and I'm feeling like before I'd only put it on half my face and I felt like it was pretty good for oil control, but now I'm feeling like I look a little bit greasy. I'm not used to cream foundations. I'm used to, like, you know, the NARS Light Reflecting, which is like a very light liquidy foundation. So I'm gonna just hide this. Also, I'm not sure what's on my face. Okay, so that's what the pores are looking like. Yeah, I'm gonna say it doesn't necessarily blur the pores. Maybe I'll try my Beauty Blender sponge and see. For me, I like it, but I'm not in love with it. I'd have to wear it for a couple days in a row to see how I really feel and see what the transfer is like on this. But I'm gonna get into the bronzer, which is the new Merit bronzer. It is the Bronze Balm in the shade Clay. And earlier I went, sorry, my stomach is grumbling. Earlier I went in and just went on top of my face with it. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to use the brush because I noticed that when I did that, okay, sorry, so it's just a twist up. This is what the shade Clay looks like. Looks very orange on here, but in person it's a little more like goldeny. And I'm just going to go on my hand, but you can see it is very balmy in texture, and when I go on my hand it almost blends away, so I'm hoping it doesn't blend away when I just apply it with my brush. I'm just gonna go straight into it. I was hearing like pretty rave reviews about this, so I really wanted to try it. I have to say, I really like the Anastasia one. I feel like that doesn't get enough credit. I feel like a lot of people didn't really enjoy the shades. It does have quite a like yellowy undertone to it, the Anastasia one, so I think maybe that's what people didn't like about it. The shade that I liked anyways. I think I have, I'll have to double check what shade I have. But I also really like Laguna in shade 1. I thought that I would be shade 2, but Laguna 1's a little bit cooler, and shade 2 just looked kind of scary to me, which was the original. So I will just go in just to show you what it looks like if I just go straight in with it. But you can see it kind of took some of that foundation off with it. That's why I didn't want to just go straight in, because it is such a balmy texture. So I think that looks good. I wish it were a tiny bit darker. So anyways, like I was saying, I really like NARS Laguna in 01. It is super light, but it's kind of got like a cooler undertone, and it just gives me, I like the texture of it. It gives me like a nice creamy texture, but it doesn't wipe away. Like this one I find it's kind of looking like it like just brushes away. It does say it's blendable, or buildable, I should say, not blendable. Of course it's blendable. So that's what it's looking like. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my face with this, and then I think I'm gonna go on top of that with the Infallible Fresh Wear, and I will be right back. Before I go in with the Infallible bronzer, I just want to show you what it looked like after I bronzed the whole face. So now I'll go in just so I can give you an idea of what it looks like before you go in with a powder bronzer. I always go in with a powder bronzer after my cream just to kind of set it, because I do have combination oily skin. I definitely need to just kind of set that in place, especially if it's a bronzer that's balmy. I have to say this does feel, and I'm sure you've heard it a billion times, like the Makeup by Mario bronzer, this one. And like I did say in one of my videos, I do find it to be a little bit too, what's the word, like slippy, I guess. And I just prefer when it's a little more like creamy matte, which is more like the NARS bronzer. So, and the Anastasia bronzer is like that as well. So I feel like those are my kind of top cream bronzers for right now. But you never know. Maybe I'll find something else. But yeah, so far for the two of these products, it's a like, it's not a love. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep the bronzer because I have a sick obsession with bronzers, but I'll have to wear the foundation a little bit more to really get a good idea of how I feel about it. I'll have to wear it where I'm wearing a mask so then I can really see if there's any transfer and how it behaves on the skin for a full day. Okay, so I think we're pretty bronzed up, and I'm just gonna blend that out. I'm gonna finish the rest of my face and then I will be back. Alright, so here's my completed makeup look. My brows are really on one today, so don't mind that, but this is what the foundation is looking like up close. So I just don't know how I feel about it yet. I wouldn't say like run out and buy it. It is really nice. It is sitting on my skin nicely. Obviously since I added the powder, I'm less glowy, which I appreciate. Like I said, I'm just gonna have to wear it for a full day and really give it a test. Usually I update my description box to let you know if I've returned it or how I feel about it, if I'm just gonna keep it and see how I like it. But yeah, so far I like it, but I don't love it. And same with the Merit bronzer. I am gonna hold on to this because I do feel like there's a time and a place for this. Generally, because I'm wearing a mask and I'm going to work, I like the NARS or the Anastasia because it's a cream and it's matte and it'll stay on all day. This one I feel like is probably going to move around a little bit, so if you want like a more no makeup look, then I feel like this might be good for you. People have mentioned the container is a little cheap feeling, and I'll have to agree that it does feel a little cheap. This is fine, just the cap feels a little cheap, and it's not really that cheap. I think it's around $40 Canadian. And as for this, I do think it is pretty expensive. I know there's a lot of foundations, like the NARS one I think is, you know, $50-ish or $60 Canadian. I do feel like it's worth it because I instantly loved that one. But with this one, I'm just not 100% how I feel about it. So if I don't love it, I probably am going to take it back. So we'll just see. Like I said, I will update the description box and let you know how I feel about it. But thank you so much for watching, and I love ya.